Oh, is it time? It is time. All right, so the mods have taken it upon themselves to make a quiz for me about the saberfaces. A la, like, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire style. I have not seen any of these questions. I have not basically looked at anything that the mods have done. They just told me they were going to do this. And I was like, yeah, it sounds like a cool idea. So I figured, why not, right? So I'm going to be going through this. I have, like I said, I have not seen anything beforehand. I am not able to see chat in any way, shape, or form. So at this point, although apparently we can see my Steam pop-ups here. Apparently at this point, I'm going to have to go through this completely blind. Now, just like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, I have the ability to phone a friend, which is one of the mods, potentially, and try to get them into voice chat so I can discuss with that person. I'm going to assume that's going to have to be a moderator that didn't make this, because otherwise that would be cheating at that point. There's also 50-50, which apparently will show up on every slide, but I'm only able to use it once. And then poll the audience, in which case the mods will create a poll, ask chat what they think, and then I will get told the result. I can't see it. I don't know. So it's just going to be how it's going to be. And okay, so let's go ahead and let's get started. Let's see how well I know the saberfaces. All right, so the first question is, I am no longer a mere knight. I am a king who protects her people. That is my pride. Which servant says this at Bond 5? I mean, that's got to be base Artoria, because that's pretty much her line from Garden of Avalon. So I'm gonna go with A. So it's obviously gonna be Artoria Saber. So for the next question, it was Umu, my imperial glory grows with every battle. Which servant says this at Bond 3? Now they threw me a curveball because this one is obviously going to be one of the Umus, but they're all Umu for this one. So if it had been like Umu versus Okita, obviously the answer would be Umu. But we definitely don't have any sort of like differentiation between them other than what their individual personalities are. I think the obvious answer for something like this is going to be base Umu Saber, but then there's also like Umu Bride and Umu Caster that are definitely more in that line. But I think there's also Draco. Draco's very full of herself, very like self-indulgent. And I'm going to be honest, and I'm going to say that I haven't read any of their Bond lines remotely recently. So this is going to make this one difficult. I think within reason, it's probably not Bride, because I think Bride is a little bit more focused on the master with a lot of the stuff that she says, as opposed to like Draco and OG Umu Saber kind of being like a little bit more self-focused. Nero Caster should be a little bit more summer-focused, but this is kind of spicy. I think... So I only have one of the lifelines each, and I've been told there are 16 questions here. I could eliminate half, but it might not eliminate the half that like it may just be like already like narrowing it down to like 2 that I can that I wouldn't be able to choose from. I can ask the audience, or I can phone a friend. I feel like phoning a friend would end up with probably a lot worse of a situation for this, because they might not know either. So do I do 50-50 or do I poll the audience? I think I poll the audience on this. I think this is going to have to be the poll the audience question, and I'm just going to have to figure out the rest of them on the... Because I think it's reasonably Nero Saber and Draco, that it's one of those two. I'm just not sure which, and I'm not really willing to risk the 50-50 at this point in time. So I'm going to ask the mods to conduct a poll of the audience and see what the audience has to say. Gotta be OG Umu. Gotta be. I'm just hoping chat actually knows the answer here, because good lord, I'm gonna have to trust them. The community wishes to go with option C. Nero Saber. All right, and it's overwhelming. So it's good at least to hear that the community is thinking the exact same way I am. It's just tough because, like I said, I have not seen the bond lines. I hope green means that I got it right. Okay. Windblade, strike true. Which servant says this during an arts attack? Ooh. That's interesting. If you had said it during, like, a Noble Phantasm, that could have been Okida. But Windblade is invisible air. This feels like it's a trap. No, I think I just go with the Artoria. I think it's got to be Artoria. Like it's bait. Love's arrows pierce. Love's arrow pierce. Which servant says this during a quick attack? I come on, man. The second you said love, the second you put love in there, it's Nero Bride. Her attacks spell out love with the animations that they do. Like, they actually changed that in an update. So if you do her attacks in a certain order, she will actually, like, as she does her slashes, spell out love. This is the way of the altar. Which servant says this during a skill activation? Oh, no! Oh, God, that's rough. Especially because we don't hear this in English. This is the way of the altar. I'm gonna say that sounds relatively campy, so it makes me think that it's probably like Mixa or Santa altar. I'm gonna 50-50 this one. Come on. Come on. This is why I don't like the 50-50. I knew it would literally just boil down to the two most obvious choices. Crap. Okay, so we've already used poll and we've already used 50-50. This is probably going to have to be a guess. I mean, Mix is all about singing. And this sounds a little bit more serious than Mixa. Like, I feel like it could be Santa Altar talking about, like, hey, this is how an altar does Santa. So I'm gonna go with D, but I may regret this. There we go. Got it wrong. Okay, so there's my first one wrong after all of that. Again, I blame the 50-50. Okay. Which servant has the highest hit count on a quick card? Oh, that's an interesting one. Double X, Umu Saber, Jeanne d'Arc, Alter Santa Lily, or Nero Bride. So, three arts units and a buster unit. The highest on a quick card. I gotta think about, like, individually each of their performance. which one has a pretty decent quick card and what their deck is, and whether or not they have writing. I want to say it's Bride again, but I gotta save the phone a friend here. We're gonna go with Bride. Well, that... Oh, so it just brings me back to the card. Is it Lily? It's double X? Really? Would not have thought that. Honestly, would not have thought that. I mean, I guess, like, to an extent it makes some sense. Because double X is an arts unit that doesn't have the best refund, so they would kind of try to counter that a little bit by making her quick card better, but I'm gonna be honest, I don't use her quick card very often, and part of the reason why is because she has that negative built-in star weight in her kit. So a lot of the times if I'm trying to use stars for her, like if I'm gonna use the quick card, it's gonna be getting used in a mighty chain for her a lot, because a lot of the times I know she's not gonna soak stars, so generating stars with her is not usually what I try to do. So admittedly, this was a sort of like blindside in it. And so I was sitting there trying to think like, oh, is it actually gonna be like Janta because she's Buster and they would try to make her quick card a little bit better? Or is it like Bride, whose card performance I know is actually pretty stellar on a lot of accounts? Which servant has the highest hit counts on an arts card? Okay, so hit counts, and this is probably how I should have approached it as well from the last one. Hit counts generally are a factor of how high your native NP gain rate is, the time in which you were released into the game, and what your various other traits and enhancements are. And I'm really tempted to say that the answer is just Draco. Because Draco has a triple Buster deck. So that arts card, I believe it's 5-6 hit? I think it's 6 hit. It's really, really nice for her. Whereas like Jarcher I think only has like 2 hit arts cards because she's just a naturally high looping, high octane arts unit. So she doesn't need a lot of arts performance on her arts cards. She doesn't need those extra hit counts to kind of make it, you know, generate extra. Which servant has the highest self-buff only, no niche, neutral damage? Self-buff only without niche. Neutral damage. Okay, so they're all AoE. They're also all Saber. Oh no, sorry, not Lancer there. Mordred's definitely got a niche, but her damage is actually really naturally high now after her buffs. Shouldn't be Okitan. Okitan doesn't have a niche, and while her damage is good, she does have pretty decent, like, NP loopability. Like, one of the things that really makes her damage high is because of Black Grail. Wait, hold on. So we've got different NP levels here. NP 5 Lakshmi Bai versus NP 1 of all the others? Wait, what? That's spicy. If we were comparing NP1s, I could probably get this answer. But when you throw in an NP5 on top of that, I also am going to assume we're talking JP because Lakshmi has at least had buffs. Lalter has some really good damage. She's actually the highest AoE 4-star Lancer. She also has 2 new niches. So her damage is definitely not to be denied, but we can't count the niches for that. I think the NP5 Lakshmi's bait. I think that's... because Lakshmi's damage is not that high up there. Damn, this is rough. I'm thinking it's between A or D. And I'm really just like trying to think in my head which one is higher. I'm just gonna go with A. I think it's Mordred. I think Mordred, after all of her buffs. Well, hold on. No. Mordred, a lot of Mordred's power comes from being able to overlap her Buster buff. Hold on. Oh, man, that's... I think it's Lalter. Not. It's not Lalter. All right. Let's go with my other guess. It was Mordred. I debated myself. Mordred was my gut instinct. I should have just gone with it. I literally walked myself all through that. Thank you to whoever subbed. I literally walked myself all through that and then convinced myself otherwise because of the 3-turn Buster buff with Mordred. Okay. I have a duty, and that's what drives me. Which servant says this at Bond 4? Oh, come on. Oki to Soji alter. I think I can eliminate her. I think D is not the answer. In a weird way, A could be. But I don't think it is. And the reason why is because while Double X does have a duty, what drives her is bonuses and vacation. Because it's the summer form of MHX as a space cadet. So that leaves OG Saber and Lancer Alter. Rough. I think it's B. I think it's gotta be B. I think if it's Artoria, it's not that she doesn't have a duty and everything. It's just I don't think she'd really state it. So let's see. Yeah. There we go. Which of the following servants has the highest luck stat? Well, I can tell you who has the lowest of the saber faces. That's Lakshmi. The highest luck stat of the saber faces. I don't think it's Surfmo. It's Bunny. It's gotta be Bunny, right? How is it not the gambling queen? Like, what? Hold on. Is it Surfmo? Because I don't feel like it'd be Morgan or Ace. It is. What? The only luck that I can see there, and again, this is lore stuff, right? But like, the only luck I can see there is that she doesn't get her like head caved in constantly by her father for stealing her shield to use as a surfboard. Like, holy. Which of the following servants has the highest endurance stat? Ooh. It should be John Eric Ruler. Should be. Okay. So now we know it's not C. I mean, I feel like it shouldn't be Artoria Caster because of the whole solemn defense thing, but maybe, right? Like, because I'm trying to think about this from like a lore perspective, and like maybe it's X? Because X just like refuses to give up and go down? I'm gonna guess Artoria Caster last. Like, if it's okay, it's Lalter. I just honestly, that's kind of surprising. Because it definitely doesn't translate into health values. So this is the difference between like endurance and health, right? But yeah, I'm sitting there going like, huh, like lore-wise, who's perceived to actually have the most? And I gotta be honest, I don't sit there constantly looking at their lore stats, right? Like, obviously I do way more analysis on the physical, like, gameplay stats, so that's an interesting one nonetheless. Although, you know what, a little bit we can actually make some sense of this, because Lalter is a variant of Lartoria that didn't give in to the corruption of the lance. So I guess at that point you could say, yeah, she's got pretty high endurance. Wait. This is the same question as before. Okay, well that one was easy. I guess there's 15 questions instead of 16. Which of the following servants does not have bare feet in any of their ascension artworks? What is this question? This is one I purposely want to throw, because if I get this question right, people are gonna call me like some sort of foot fetishist. But if I get it wrong, then people will be like, oh, he didn't know. But the sad part is I probably do know. It's obviously Okita is thrown right out because her final ascension is literally just feet. That's the infamous one that everyone always comments on. Squirtoria is standing in the sand with her... Oh, no, her final ascension. Yeah, Squirtoria is right out. Caster is wearing shoes. I think it's gotta be Caster. Oh, wait, it was Okita J. Sochi. Oh my god, my brain. Okay, hold on. Does Jetkita have bare feet? I feel like she does. So, Surfmo? Okay. Like, I want to say Surfmo has bare feet, but I feel like you don't actually get to see it in any of the art. So I think y'all got me on a technicality on this one. Which of these servants does not have in-game artwork drawn by Wada Arco? I assume we're including craft essences in this. Okay. I mean, I can throw out the two that are immediately drawn by water Arco. So it's between C and D. And I want to say it's C, because Artoria, I believe, has some. Yeah. Like, I'm pretty sure Artoria has a craft essence drawn by Water Arco. Like the one of her in the blue dress? How many servants in the game possess the trait Artoria face? The number is definitely not 27. I don't believe it's reached 41, so it's between A and B. I believe it's A. Has it gone up that much? Is it actually 36? I didn't realize it was that high already. I guess we have gotten a couple here. Because the last count I could remember was 32, but yeah. It may be the NA number is what I was thinking of. Damn, I'm bad. I should have gotten that one right off the top of my head. Which is the most common height among all Artoria faces? Ooh, that's spicy. So Artoria's height should be the most common, in theory, because there's more of her than any other saber face. So my only question is, do we have other people that basically share that could combine to be more? Well, since this is the last question and I still have a lifeline, I'm going to phone a friend.
I'm sorry, Khad. I'm disqualified.
Wait, why are you disqualified?
I helped review it.
You helped review it? Well, what other mods are present?
I don't know.
Who the heck am I supposed to call? When your phone a friend doesn't work. I have no idea what's going on.
I'm gonna mute this. Hello?
Hello.
What's going on there?
Hi.
I'm here and people need assistance.
Yes. Yes, I need assistance. So I've been asked by the mods to answer this quiz. And I'm on the final question of the quiz.
Yeah.
And the question is, which is the most common height amongst all Artoria faces? AKA saber faces.
So you're just down to saber face?
Yep.
Oh, okay. So...
And I have 154 centimeters, 159 centimeters, 156 centimeters, and 150 centimeters as my answers.
Oh my god. What the Sigma?
Yeah, this one's devious. I know,
well,
for instance, like, Umu is shorter than Artoria.
Mm-hmm.
Because I believe Umu is the shortest saber face.
Riddle me this.
Yeah.
OG Artoria saber, okay? How many variants does she have?
Variants? She has quite a bit.
Yes, variants. Yeah.
Because, like, there's OG, there's Castoria, there's obviously the X series, right? There's which X series should probably be the same height as Artoria, but then there's like Lartoria and Lalter that are definitely bigger, right?
Yes.
So it's what's the most common height? That is to say, what's the height that occurs the most? And it'd have to be whoever has the most variance, which in theory has to be Artoria, right?
The OG, yeah.
Yeah.
Because Jeanne's have at least 3, now 4, which has all different in size.
Yeah.
And so I believe, if I remember, do you know the height of OG Artoria? Because if you can figure out the OG Artoria's height, that's a baseline. If it's in one of the 4th answers there, that's one of the highest possibilities you can snap at, right? Because OG has the most variant.
Right.
And if I remember correctly, because I asked this during one of the game shows as well, Nero's height is around...
I think hers is like 150, isn't it?
Yes, it's 150.
Yeah. And Artoria is taller, but not by much more.
So it's not deep.
Yeah, I agree with that. It's not the shortest.
And I believe it's not B because that's the largest among the 4 answers. Because it's either Artoria is a 156 or a 154. And if the OG Artoria is 156 or 154, that's going to be right. Now, do you know anybody that's 156 in particular? Because I don't.
No. I want to say it's A.
Let's go with A. Yeah, let's do it.
All right.
If it works.
We're sending it. Here we go. Final answer. Oh, there we go. Yeah. Thank you. You were the right person to call. You actually helped me logic through it. Because I could not... Like, I was basically having analysis paralysis because of all the different variations. And the thing that you pointed out to me, because I was already just thinking along the lines of like, okay, you've got like Artoria, you've got Jeanne, you've got Okita. But even of those other variants have different sizes, for instance, right? Like Draco is a lot taller than Umu. So there's definitely issues there with that. And that's why I had to go with like, it probably was OG Artoria, and which of them was it? And I was sitting there thinking, because again, like you said, it's like, I think 150 is Umu, and I was like, Artoria is taller, but she's not taller by that much more. So when you were like, hey, I think it's A, I'm like, yeah, I think it is too. That was what I was thinking in my head, pretty much as you said it. So, awesome. We did it.
All right, you guys take care. I gotta finish this courtroom.
Yep, no problem. Thank you, Trubs. Appreciate it.
Bye.
That was Mr. Two Love Trouble. You guys haven't ever checked him out. Also, Two Love Trouble Dark is his YouTube channel name, so go give that man a follow. I got 6 wrong out of the 16, of which 1 was a repeat. So, admittedly, that was a lot harder of a quiz than I thought you guys would give me. And it's because you guys strayed a lot more into like the more like intangible side of things. I'm happy I got the height one right. This one was gonna bother me if I didn't get this one right. So I'm really glad that I got it. Yeah, so it is what it is. Again, hope you guys enjoyed it. It's definitely a fun thing. We'll have to do some more stuff like this in the future. I actually really like this idea, so I think we could do like other quizzes where basically the mods are questioning me on various things, and we'll see if I can get them right. So let me know what you guys think about it. Let me know in the comments below. I'll be curious to read you guys' thoughts and how much you enjoyed this style of content. And again, if you guys haven't already, make sure you like and subscribe for more. Happy to make more content for FGO for you guys. So again, thank you guys for watching. Later. Wait, maybe I need to be like one of those old school like game show games where it's like I'm sitting here and I'm like my sprite's just slowly moving. Maybe I should be like